Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So it's looking as though Pepe is continuing on its tear, has retraced a little bit since yesterday. And I mean, again, I'm not advising you FOMO into this coin, but it has gone up 2,300% since these lows back down around here. And I mean, the lows weren't from that long ago, late April. So April 26th, it did retrace back from the low that we did see only a couple days earlier, April 21st, 2023. We can see the Pepe chart has actually made that full Fibonacci retracement. And guys, just for fun, take a look at this. After retracing back on May the 1st, right over here, we can see it's actually gone up for another full fib retracement. Now, this spells danger. If you are getting into Pepe now, prepare to lose your shirt, because chances are this is not going to have the longevity. And, I see a lot of people on Twitter talking about this because it is the latest meme coin to really kind of pump. And I mean, I got to be straight with you. I've got nothing against putting money into coins and catching some profits off the top, even if they are crap coins. However, the real world utility, this is where your real long-term investment should be. That's just my opinion. So, if you're day trading or swing trading, you can throw some money into this, but be prepared that these types of cryptos could go to zero because they are based on hype and speculation and have no real world utility. So if you get rugged, it is on you. And this is why, I would never go all in on a coin like this. I would have probably taken my profits out somewhere in and around here. But that's just me. Obviously, everybody is different. Taking a look at Bitcoin right now, we've got Bitcoin up a little bit, grinding its way up to the upside. Right now, Bitcoin is trading at about 29,100. And, we did even see Bitcoin get back up very, very close to that $30,000 mark yesterday. So the crypto market is grinding up. We've got XRP here down a little bit. XRP trading right now just under 46 cents. Trading right now at the time of this recording at around 0.458. So the market not really reacting. Everybody's really interested in Pepe coin. And I guess we'll just see how that all shakes out. It's kind of funny that coins like Pepe coin are pumping the way that they are, considering, the crypto industry is transitioning the same way we're seeing companies slowly transition, and Ripple falls into this category as well. Ashish Birla, though, came out and was talking about this. Coinbase is transitioning from a crypto exchange to a crypto-enabled banking service. Now, I think we're going to see a lot more of this because, not just for the diversification perspective, which is, I guess, good business-wise, but, also because as the regulatory requirements are changing, we're probably going to see these companies shifting a little bit to kind of fit the mold of what the United States wants them to be. Coinbase's updated mission is building the crypto economy, a more fair, accessible, efficient, and transparent financial system enabled by crypto. Per its Q1 2023 reports, revenue on deposits via interest income, blockchain rewards, and custodial fees now make up the lion's share of Coinbase's revenue. So you guys can see that here from these charts, comparing it to the entirety of 2022. Interest on USDC deposits is generating $199 million alone, or about 18% of all of Coinbase's revenue. So, this concept of, becoming more like a bank, in and amongst the banking collapse that we're currently seeing kind of makes sense, right? Coinbase's revenues are slowly shifting from consumer to high-margin institutional customers. Institutional trading revenue increased 67% from last quarter. Coinbase also benefits from banking-like revenues that are less dependent on the overall crypto market. With trust in traditional banking eroding, is the timing right for institutions and consumers to turn to an alternative? So all very interesting and astute observations here from Ashish Birla. We're not just seeing Coinbase transition. The XRP ledger has also always been about the diversification of crypto utility. A great observation here from the Wrath of Kahneman: first demonstration experiment for energy trading system Edison X using the XRP ledger. So I never heard about this. I took some time to do some quick research. First demonstration experiment for energy trading system Edison X using the XRP ledger. So here's the lowdown, guys. We developed an energy trading system, Edison X, that uses blockchain technology to manage the buying and selling of electricity usage rights. So i.e. tokens, UPX, SPX, tokens purchase electricity from the utility company, distribution lines, and the photovoltaic panels. On July 1st, 17 students in our school dormitory participated in an experiment to confirm the operation of the Edison X system. Based on the results of this experiment, we discussed that energy trading systems using blockchain technology for the effective usage of renewable energy. So that is very interesting as well. Being able to manage electricity usage, and considering the XRPL ironically doesn't use a lot of electricity, or maybe not so ironically, maybe this is one of those blockchains that is a perfect fit for this type of application. So more use cases. I mean, it is mind-blowing what is coming out from XRPL development. And here's just the paper here if you guys are interested. I will link this in the description if you guys are. We develop an energy trading system, Edison X, that uses blockchain technology to manage the buying and selling of electricity rights. As I mentioned, based on the results of the experiment, we discussed the energy trading system using blockchain technology for the effective usage of renewable energy. We develop topology and network science methodologies to understand the characteristics of energy trading. We test the hypothesis that market transactions become less active when cavities appear using persistent homology. The preliminary result implies that the hypothesis could be adopted. So I'm interested to see how this type of application develops. A great piece of news here from the Wrath of Kahneman. You guys can see just from this flow chart here too, how the XRP ledger is facilitating this Edison X experiment. Interesting. Of course, Ripple-enabled banks also implementing technology for banking purposes. This one has to do with Ripple partner Finastera and how Loboro BS selects Finastera for core banking. They're implementing the core software for banking technology, and they're utilizing Finastera as it looks to modernize its processes and improve operational efficiency. The society has selected Finastera's Essence banking solution, which will be deployed by Microsoft Azure to facilitate the upgrade. Loboro has appointed financial services consultancy Fairmont to manage its data migration and regulatory reporting. Essence has already proved its appeal within the UK building society sector, with Teachers Building Society selecting the platform in August of 21. The Loboro will also be implementing Finastera's retail analytics module as it looks to accelerate speed to market. So looking to leverage Finastera again for a core banking solution. Another great piece of Ripple partner news that we should be acknowledging. Brand new news coming out just yesterday. Also, guys, another one here from the Wrath of Kahneman. Recent report from the QED Investors Group mentions Ripple in this latest report. So, May 2023, a brand new report, Global FinTech 2023, Reimagining the Future of Finance. You can see just down here, the introduction, FinTech in a Modern World. Finance, technology, or more specifically, the array of products and services that fintech companies have brought to life. And one of those fintechs that they highlight here, guys, is Ripple's DLT solutions. And Ripple in particular, DLT, once proven fully viable, could significantly disrupt the space. Blockchain companies such as Ripple via its RippleNet payment network are already working on partnerships with various financial institutions and payment providers around the world to facilitate real-time cross-border payments. So highlighted specifically in this document from this month, and we're only 6 days into the month. So this is brand new stuff, guys, coming out as we speak. So more great news here from the Wrath of Kahneman. Wanted to thank him just for mentioning that. I also happen to notice this, guys, from Standard Chartered, another Ripple partner. They're selecting Mozart to boost payment capabilities for U.S. banks. So new banking system connection with Mozart. This strategic partnership offers U.S. financial institutions simplified access to the most dynamic growth markets across Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. Well. 3 particular financial markets that have been really focused on switching over to DLT technology, a lot of them using RippleNet already, like the Middle East, a big one in recent months, Africa too with MFS Africa, and Asia, one of the original regions that Ripple really started to thrive in. With an end-to-end suite of compliance account, inbound and outbound payment solutions, Mozart provides opportunities for financial institutions to drive new revenue channels and customer growth to its clients. And so they're using new integrated Standard Chartered cross-currency capabilities. In complex markets, clients can now facilitate payments through emerging market currencies across the market Standard Chartered serves. And so here you have it, guys, more payment partners, which equates to a more robust infrastructure, I suppose, for payments in and across these regions. So really kind of connecting, the payment rails for these regions. Again, payments used to be so much more cumbersome, but now with the fintech technology, we're seeing the modernization of these payments right before our eyes. And a lot of these partners, guys, Ripple partners, including Standard Chartered. So some more great Ripple partner news here. I also thought I'd mention this for those of you guys using Binance. This one from XRP Crypto Wolf. XRP and Shiba Inu are now supported in one of these new Binance services. Binance did come out, guys, and say this. They are announcing their Binance Auto Invest platform and have added over 200 new assets to the portfolio plans. A scroll through the list of cryptocurrencies includes XRP, Shiba Inu, or SHIB, Cardano's ADA, and Bitcoin BTH. So these are just 4 that they have outlined here. Binance Auto Invest adds 200 new assets. So they just tweeted this out a couple of days ago. Also supported cryptocurrencies can be purchased with more than 10 stablecoins in fiat currencies. The Binance Auto Invest platform allows users of supported crypto assets to accumulate more on autopilot, as it allows them to automate crypto purchases and grow their crypto holdings. So, if you don't want to be bothered and you can use Binance, if you have access to Binance, you can now use their auto invest feature on their platform. More like dollar cost averaging strategy, the time frame spans from 7 days to 3 years. Users can also earn passive income from Binance Simple Earn. So a lot of interesting features there on Binance, and they have just recently included XRP on this platform as one of the auto invest options. So some great news there. Wanted to thank XRP Crypto Wolf for pointing that out. Times are tough. I mean, a lot of people looking for ways to make money from investing. Cryptocurrencies in emerging market, fintech, right? The transfer over from the old system to the new system. This is where new money is flowing into, and we're seeing it in real time. The old fiat trust-backed system, that is slowly moving away, slowly moving to the wayside. The US dollar is the global reserve currency. That might also be a thing of the past in our lifetime. So guys, what is happening now? Michael Branch bringing this to our attention with regards to gold. Now, I wanted to focus on gold for a few different reasons. I got a theory coming up that I wanted to share with you, but first this from Michael Branch: the demand for gold has now reached a new high, a record high in Q1 of 2023, driven by economic uncertainty and the potential trouble in the U.S. banking sector. So, we've been talking about this quite a bit. U.S. banking turmoil sparks gold frenzy in central banks. We're seeing a lot of central banks jumping in, wanting to get on the gold train. Central banks boost gold reserves. In the first quarter of 2023, central banks added 228 tons of gold to their reserves, the highest rate of purchases recorded since the data series began in the year 2000. Despite this surge, it is a slower rate compared to recent quarters. Louise Street, senior market analyst at the World Gold Council, mentioned that gold's role as a diversified asset and its long-term value retention have been key factors in central bank purchases. So what are central banks looking at the long term? They're clearly not looking at the immediacy of it. Because, I mean, the old adage goes as such: gold's not going to make you rich. Silver's not going to make you rich, really, over time. It's more of a hedge. It's a trusted asset, that we can rely on in times of uncertainty. And, I think this is why a lot of these central banks are moving that way. This is nothing new. Zimbabwe was also talking about gold, and now they are actually implementing this. From BondCrypt XRP, Zimbabwe sets price to sell gold-backed digital tokens. Zimbabwe's central bank plans to sell gold-backed digital tokens at $10 for individuals and $5,000 for corporations. So we talked a little bit about this on this channel. Zimbabwe's central bank has set a price for its gold-backed digital tokens. So they're setting that price. The country is planning to sell its gold-backed digital currency to investors starting on May 8th. The tokens will be sold at a minimum price of $10 for individuals, $5,000 for corporate entities, according to a statement released by the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. On May 4th, the gold-backed digital currency tokens will be sold in US dollars and local currency. However, the local currency price will have a 20% margin above the willing buyer, willing seller interbank mid-rate. So they are manipulating these rates, depending on which currency you're going to be using to purchase the gold. Interested investors can participate in the offer from May 8th, which will close 2 days later. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it was Zimbabwe who is also looking to create a central bank digital currency, or a digital version of their fiat currency that will be backed by gold. So it's looking as though this is a step to get the people of Zimbabwe onto the gold standard. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe announced its plans to introduce a gold-backed digital currency to serve as legal tender in the country, and they announced this, guys, just last week on April the 28th. So, this is one of the first countries that is doing this. Who's to say that more countries will not follow? I mean, you consider the BRICS nations too, right? BRICS nations already kind of planning to, reject US dollar dominance, work in their own fiat currencies, or create a new BRICS currency, the BRIC, that is going to be backed by gold and perhaps other commodities. You got countries like Saudi Arabia and Iran who are very rich in oil. So who knows? It could be a combination But gold, guys, this is a world standard, okay? Gold not going away anytime soon. Every country on planet Earth sees gold in the same way. It's valuable. There's a price attached to it. And so this example here with Zimbabwe, could this be the first of many? And as we're seeing a financial system move towards fintech and adopting new assets on distributed ledger technology like the XRPL, could this be possible? Okay, this was a theory that I saw from Utility. Now, it's just a theory, but hear me out, guys, because I think he might be onto something. Now, we've talked about XRP being pegged to gold, and a lot have been rejecting that concept. But if you can rack your brain and just think of it this way, could gold be pegged to XRP? So not XRP pegged to gold, but gold being pegged to XRP. So an interesting concept here from Utility FTW on Twitter. He says, I've expressed before that XRP's value cannot be tied to any particular asset or commodity, and I think that has been the main criticism, right? A decentralized digital currency value is determined by the forces of supply and demand. So we know XRP's on the open market. Right now it's trading for 46 cents or whatever, and that is the agreed upon price that people are willing to trade it at. However, what follows is a theoretical and speculative scenario, yet still plausible. First of all, what got me into this train of thought was an article from late last year. Go ahead and read it to grasp some similarities in what I will explain. Essentially, it is a forced reevaluation of gold driven by market oil prices. So I'm going to link this. So it's all going to be linked in the description of the video if you guys want to read it. But the forced reevaluation is the concept that I think you should be aware of. It has happened in the past. Why can it not happen in the future? So furthermore, okay, and he explains it here, it is possible to revalue a commodity if one has control over its price. This can be observed by examining how the US government revalued gold in 1934 by raising its price from $20.67 per troy ounce to $35 per troy ounce. The US was able to establish the gold standard because it had control over its currency, which held significant influence in the global financial system as a reserve currency. Now, all these are very important points. If you think of the US currency in terms of global significance, very significant at that time. However, now we're changing over. We're switching over to maybe BRICS countries, Russia, China, India, holding dominance. So what could that mean for gold moving forward? And will they have enough? Could they have enough to manipulate the price? By setting $35 for an ounce of gold, the US government was able to create the global standard. Key point here, the US could not directly dictate the price of gold during the 1934 reevaluation, but their power and control, and guys, this is the key point, their power and control over the US dollar as the world's reserve currency gave them de facto control over the price of gold. So because they had control over the USD, they by extension had control over what the price of gold would be. Let's shift the focus to the dynamics of control in a different scenario here. Rather than discussing the US government's control over its currency, let's examine who has control over the world's gold right now. And guys, this is where it's going to become significant. Russia, China, India, Iran, okay? A lot of these countries have a lot of gold. It's evident that central banks hold control over the world's gold reserves. As I mentioned in this article here, central banks are boosting gold reserves, right? There is speculation that publicly disclosed figures may not accurately reflect the true amounts either. So, some are suggesting that maybe these central banks hold even more than they're letting on. Just as the US had control over the USD reserve and as a result de facto control over the price of gold, central banks have control over the gold and hypothetically de facto control over the amount of any asset they are willing to sell in exchange for gold. So similar to what we saw in 1934 in the United States, could happen, guys, in the future for BRICS countries and gold price. Hopefully you see where I'm going with this. Many people believe that the world is on the verge of an unprecedented financial crisis, myself included. The USD as a reserve currency is facing destructive external forces caused by its massive debt load, as well as destructive external forces. There may be a future where the USD is no longer a safe or viable option to serve as a bridge currency for global financial cross-border transactions. There may soon need to be a need for a neutral option, and stability will be the most crucial factor. And guys, this is where you enter XRP. And another thing that he doesn't point out here is the connection between gold and central banks, how much central banks are purchasing gold, right? But also how many central banks are already partnered with Ripple and are already prepared to utilize XRP. So when you put those two things together, that lends this theory even more credibility. Here's where XRP can come to the rescue as a neutral, fast, green, and decentralized solution. They cannot peg a decentralized currency to gold, right? As we've said in the past, XRP is basically just being traded on the open market for supply and demand, but they can peg gold to a decentralized currency. And if gold is the standard and it's pegged to XRP, well, what will that mean? One hypothetical scenario is that central banks who control the global gold market could agree to sell gold for a fixed amount of XRP. For example, 1 ounce of gold could be exchanged for 5,000 XRP, which would bring it to roughly 40 cents. But with the power over gold, they would have de facto control over XRP price. So, manipulating the price of XRP to higher prices if in fact gold ends up being pegged to XRP. In such a scenario, gold would still hold its relative value to sovereign currencies. However, once the announcement is made, the arbitrage opportunity would cause the value of 5,000 XRP to rise up to the current market price of gold per ounce. It's important to note again that stability of the gold bridge currency is crucial. Currently, XRP's price is highly volatile due to a speculative nature of the market. What exchange rate for 1 ounce of gold would be needed to counteract this volatility and ensure stability? The other thing I wanted to mention here, actually, that's just coming to my mind right now, is this concept of XRP's volatility. But if in fact gold is pegged to XRP, well, that would in fact make XRP relatively stable, because we know gold price is relatively stable, and maybe that is what the World Bank is considering XRP or XLM being stablecoins, gold and silver respectively. We've heard of that theory as well. So a relatively stable price, reintroducing this concept of XRP and XLM as stablecoins. I don't know the answer to the question, but it's a fascinating thought experiment. One factor that would impact the exchange rate is the available supply of XRP relative to the demand for its use in cross-border transactions. This is, again, just a thought experiment. It is hypothetical, it is speculative, but it certainly is an interesting thought experiment, so I gotta thank Utility FTW here on Twitter for mentioning this. The thought experiment gets even more entertaining when factoring in how there is a discussion of a hypothetical revaluation of gold to cover the global debt load. So guys, we are getting into this. We are still in the early stages, but Jim Rickards, author of Currency Wars, estimated that the price of gold could be at least $10,000 if the 35,000 tons of the world's official gold backs a conservative 40% of global M1 base money supply. Let's not forget, the theory goes as such: gold price is going to skyrocket. Central banks are utilizing gold, and I mean, even if they're not utilizing it, they are stocking up on it as we speak. Central banks are also partnered with Ripple. Go figure, and central banks want to use XRP at some point in time. Some of them probably already are in smaller capacities. But think about it, guys, XRP not being pegged to gold, but gold being pegged to XRP, it certainly is a possibility, not to mention that the remittance market, a booming market, and it's worth how much?
Cross-border payments are, nobody talks enough about their importance in the global economy. Like 15 to 20% of e-commerce is already global. And that's one use case of just retail payments. Cross-border payments are, can be categorized in a wholesale, retail, and remittances. And remittances are often not included under retail. But even remittances alone are a $589 billion global market that has been dominated by mostly traditional financial services providers.
I'm sorry, how much now?
But even remittances alone are a $589 billion global market.
A $589 billion global market? That's right. Things that make you go, that's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.